Hi, Writing 221. I'm going to talk to you guys today about audience in argumentation. What is audience? What do I mean? Audience, simply put, is the people to whom we are speaking. The people to whom we're speaking, we're trying to convince our audience that the claim we are making is valid and that its validity is based on all of the elaboration that we're doing about the claim and the support we're using to back up that claim. The support that comes in the form of close observation, data-driven research, or through other thinkers, their ideas in support of our own. Audience. One of the ways we might think about audience is maybe defining audience, defining who our audience is, and how do we do that? We define our audience in the same way we might define any kind of human being, by thinking about their attributes. We might think about their gender, their ethnicity, their race, where they come from, that is their nationality. We might think about their education levels, class, their political ideologies. We might think about their age. We also might consider some of the cultures that we as human beings might inhabit. So cultures around work, around leisure, around education and interest, cultures that have to do with geographic location, cultures of faith. All of those attributes or categories might help us think about audience. I often think about audience when I'm making an argument. The question I pose is my audience share core values that I share, or does my audience possibly have some pretty antithetical ideas, some ideas that are maybe antithetical to my own? Does my audience come from a different place? Does my audience maybe have a different level of education? Is the class, the economic class they experience, is that different than my own? Those are things that I'm thinking about, because if you're making an argument to, let's say you're making an argument to a group of people who have very different political ideologies, you're probably gonna than your own. You're probably gonna engage. You're gonna engage logos and ethos much more assertively than maybe pathos. If you are making an argument to people who have very similar beliefs that you do, then you'll probably really, you can engage emotion at a deeper level. It's interesting to think about Rebecca Solnit, right? Because in her own perceptions, her perceptions of her audience, who does she believe her audience is? That's what we're going to kind of take up this week when we discuss Rebecca Solnit. And I look forward to that. I'll say really briefly, I think that Solnit believes that she's preaching to the choir in most of her essays. There might be some exceptions to that, but I really do believe she believes she's kind of preaching to the choir. Albeit it's a group of people who are interested in feminist issues, men and women. It's a group of people who might be interested in sort of the origin the origins and impacts of violence and nonviolence. I think she believes she's speaking to a group of people who are hungry for greater depth, sort of depth of thought in some of these issues around gender and gender equity and the sort of history of gender inequity. I don't think that Solnit believes she's speaking to people who greatly differ from her. All right, let's take it online. See you soon.